Have you ever found yourself wondering, why does everything feel just a little harder these days? Maybe it's not that you're sick, you're just tired more often. The things that used to be simple, getting up from a chair, remembering why you walked into a room, sleeping through the night, now feel like they come with a bit more resistance. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not broken. Aging is a natural part of life, but the truth is, how we age depends a lot more on our daily habits than most people realize. Now, I'm not talking about big, dramatic changes. I'm talking about the little things we do, or don't do, each day that quietly chip away at our health and energy, especially after we hit 70. The good news? Once we know what those harmful habits are, we can change them. It's never too late to take control of your well-being and add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Today we're going to talk about 4 common lifestyle mistakes that often fly under the radar, but they can have a serious impact on how long and how well we live after 70. And more importantly, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you can do to turn things around, starting today. Let's begin with something that might surprise you. Many people think slowing down after 70 is just how it's supposed to be. But here's the truth. One of the most dangerous things we can do as we get older is become too sedentary. Sitting for long periods, whether it's in front of the TV, at the kitchen table, or even reading a book for hours on end, can quietly do damage over time. It affects circulation, joint health, even brain function. You might think, well, I go for a walk once a day, and that's great, but it's not just about the walk. It's about the other 23 hours of the day. If most of them are spent sitting, that walk might not be enough. But don't worry, I'm not going to suggest you join a gym or start training for a marathon. Instead, think of movement as something small but consistent. Get up every 30 minutes, even if it's just to walk around the house. Stretch your arms, do a few heel raises, sway your hips side to side. These little movement snacks throughout the day help wake up your muscles, keep your joints happy, and even give your brain a boost. You don't need fancy equipment, just the decision to move a little more often. Now let's talk about something even more subtle, but just as serious. Poor sleep hygiene. And no, that doesn't just mean brushing your teeth before bed. After 70, sleep often becomes lighter, more fragmented. But what many people don't realize is that certain habits are making things worse, and they don't even know it. Things like falling asleep in front of the TV, scrolling on your phone late at night, or having caffeine just a little too late in the afternoon. Even staying indoors too much during the day affects your natural sleep-wake rhythm. Lack of good sleep doesn't just make you tired, it affects your immune system, your memory, even your risk of falling. So how do we fix it? Start by making your evenings a little quieter, a little darker, a little more predictable. Turn off bright screens an hour before bed. Make a warm drink, decaf herbal tea is perfect, and sit somewhere peaceful. Read something light. Breathe deeply. If you wake often at night, try leaving a dim light on in the hallway instead of fumbling around in the dark. Keep a notepad next to the bed for those racing thoughts. It's amazing how simply writing them down gives your mind permission to let go. And during the day, step outside in the morning, even for 5 minutes. Morning sunlight is one of the best ways to reset your body's natural clock. It tells your brain, it's daytime now, and that helps you feel more awake during the day and sleepier when it's time to rest. It's a gentle, natural fix, but it works wonders when done consistently. Of course, there's another mistake that creeps in over time, and it often starts with something as innocent as a sandwich. That's right, I'm talking about neglecting proper nutrition, not eating poorly on purpose, but simply not eating in a way that supports the unique needs of the body after 70. You see, as we get older, our appetites may decrease, We may eat less than we used to or skip meals altogether, but the body still needs high-quality fuel to stay strong. And here's the kicker. We actually need more protein, not less, as we age. It helps maintain muscle mass, which is key to preventing falls and frailty. Yet many older adults barely get enough. A small bowl of cereal for breakfast and toast for lunch just won't cut it. That doesn't mean you need to eat a steak every day. It means being intentional. Start your day with a couple of eggs or a smoothie with Greek yogurt. Add some nuts to your salad. Have a little salmon or beans at dinner. And don't forget hydration. Dehydration is sneaky and can make you feel sluggish, dizzy, or confused. So keep water within reach and take sips throughout the day, not just when you're thirsty. Food is medicine, not in the complicated prescription drug kind of way, but in the way your body knows how to use it to build strength, protect your bones, empower your brain. You deserve that kind of nourishment no matter your age. And here's the thing, it's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Once you start noticing what your body needs and give it a little extra love in those areas, everything starts to feel just a bit easier. That's the beauty of small changes. They ripple outward. So we've talked about the dangers of sitting too much, the hidden pitfalls of poor sleep habits, and the underestimated importance of proper nutrition. Each of these alone can slowly chip away at your health after 70. But when you start taking them seriously and take simple, loving steps to change them, you give yourself a real shot at feeling stronger, more energetic, and more confident in your body. Now let's talk about something that many people don't notice until it's already taken a toll. Social withdrawal. It doesn't always happen suddenly, it starts quietly. Maybe you skip a gathering because you're tired. You stop calling people as often. Friends move away or, sadly, pass away. Before long, your social circle shrinks and your world feels a little smaller. At first, it might feel like a peaceful kind of quiet, but over time, that peace can turn into something heavier, loneliness. And here's the thing, loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected, like no one really sees you or understands your daily life anymore. It creeps in slowly and starts to feel normal, but its effects on the body and mind are profound. Studies have shown that social isolation in older adults can increase the risk of heart disease, cognitive decline, depression, and even early death. In fact, being socially isolated can be as damaging to your health as smoking or obesity. But here's the hopeful part. It's never too late to reconnect. Even if your social circle has changed, there are still ways to stay connected, and it doesn't have to mean big gatherings or loud parties. Sometimes it starts with one simple step: reaching out. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Join a small group at your local community center. Go to the park and say hello to the people you see regularly. Even chatting with your neighbors while watering the garden or talking to a cashier with a genuine smile can give your brain and heart that sense of connection. And if you're someone who's naturally introverted or just not interested in large social events, that's perfectly okay. Social connection doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real. A heartfelt conversation, a shared laugh, even a simple shared silence with someone you trust. That's the kind of connection that nourishes your spirit and supports your health. You'd be amazed at how much lighter you feel when you share your thoughts with someone who listens. It reminds you that you're not walking this road alone and that your presence matters in someone else's life. That's powerful. Now, while we're on the topic of the mind and emotions, there's one more mistake that's just as damaging as any physical habit, and that's ignoring mental stimulation. Too often, we treat our minds like an old car. Well, it's slowing down, but that's just how it is. But the brain is not a machine that wears out. It's more like a muscle. It needs to be used, challenged, and engaged to stay strong. When we stop learning, when we stop engaging in new things, the brain starts to lose its sharpness. That doesn't mean you're headed for dementia or memory loss. It just means your brain is craving something more than passive entertainment. Watching TV for hours or scrolling through your phone without thinking much can lull your brain into a kind of fog. And over time, that fog gets thicker. But you don't need puzzles or math problems to keep your brain sharp, unless you enjoy those, of course. You can read a book that inspires you, try a new recipe, learn to use a new piece of technology, teach someone a skill you've mastered, pick up a hobby you used to love but put aside. Even listening to new music or writing a few lines in a journal every morning helps wake your brain up in gentle, joyful ways. If you've ever felt like your memory isn't what it used to be, don't panic. That's common. But instead of fearing it, feed your brain. Give it something to be curious about. Engage with the world in a way that makes you feel alive again. Curiosity doesn't have an age limit, and neither does learning. You see, every day after 70 is an opportunity, not for perfection, not to go back in time, but to move forward with intention, to live with a little more awareness, to ask yourself not just, how do I get through today, but how can I make today better than yesterday? The amazing thing is, your body and your brain are listening. When you start making those small changes, standing up more often, protecting your sleep, nourishing yourself, connecting with others, and keeping your mind active, they respond. And sometimes they respond faster than you'd think. You might wake up one day feeling more energized. You might find yourself laughing more, feeling steadier on your feet, remembering things more clearly. It's not magic, it's momentum. And the best part? You don't have to do it all at once. You don't even have to be perfect at it. You just have to begin. Even the smallest step is a message to your body and mind. I care about you. I believe we've still got good years ahead. Let's make them count. So what does this all mean for you right now? It means you have power, you have choices, and you have the ability to shape your life in meaningful, healthy ways, starting today. It's not about pretending to be 30 again. It's about being the strongest, sharpest, and happiest version of yourself at this stage of life. And that's something truly worth aiming for. You deserve to feel good in your own skin. You deserve mornings that begin with energy and evenings that end in peaceful sleep. You deserve connection, joy, curiosity, and a sense of purpose that makes each day feel worth showing up for. Let's take a moment to talk about something that often gets overlooked because, well, it doesn't always feel urgent, not moving enough. You might be thinking, I'm not trying to run marathons anymore, and that's fair. But movement isn't just about breaking a sweat or chasing fitness goals. It's about keeping your body in motion in all the ways that support your independence, your balance, and even your brain. The truth is, when we slow down too much, the body starts to think it's time to shut things down. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and that simple act of getting up from a chair becomes harder than it used to be. Then one day, you might find yourself hesitating at the top of a staircase, not out of fear, but out of uncertainty. Can I still trust my legs? And yet, most people don't realize how preventable that loss of strength and coordination is. You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. You just need to keep moving every day in ways that suit your body. Walk around the house. Do a few arm circles while you wait for the coffee to brew. Stretch your legs while sitting down. Even rising up and down from a chair 10 times in a row is an incredibly powerful exercise. If you have the ability to go for a walk outside, that's fantastic. Fresh air, sunshine, and the simple rhythm of your feet on the ground can lift your mood and keep your circulation healthy. But even if you stay indoors, you can still dance a little to your favorite music. Move your shoulders, roll your ankles, or follow along with a gentle movement video made for seniors. Your body is more willing than you think. It just needs the invitation. And here's something else many people don't realize. Movement isn't just about muscles. It's a signal to your brain that life is still happening, that you're a part of it, that you're still in the game. Regular movement helps reduce the risk of dementia, improves sleep, boosts mood, and makes your day feel fuller and more satisfying. It's like turning the lights back on in every room of the house. But I get it. It's hard to start, especially if you've had an injury or you're dealing with arthritis or chronic pain. You might feel like movement just adds to the discomfort, but more often than not, the right kind of movement actually relieves pain. It improves blood flow, keeps your joints lubricated, and helps your body produce natural feel-good chemicals that ease discomfort. You don't have to push through pain, but you can ease into motion slowly and gently with kindness toward your body. The key is consistency, not perfection, not high intensity, just regular intentional movement. Think of it as a daily check-in with your body. How are you doing today? What would feel good to move? Some days it'll be a walk. Some days maybe just some stretches in bed. But every bit counts. Your body keeps score, and it rewards the effort with strength, steadiness, and the confidence to keep going. In all of this, sleep, social connection, mental stimulation, and movement ties back to the most important thing of all, how you feel in your own life. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. The mistake that cuts deepest after 70 isn't just about what you eat or how much you exercise. It's believing that the best parts of life are behind you, that now the only thing left to do is coast toward the finish line. That belief, subtle, quiet, but deeply rooted, is what makes people stop trying, stop growing, stop reaching for something more. And that's the most dangerous mistake of all. Because the truth is, your story isn't over. There are still chapters left to write. There are still mornings you haven't woken up to yet, meals you haven't tasted, smiles you haven't shared. There are conversations waiting to be had, people waiting to meet you, ideas you haven't thought of yet. And maybe, just maybe, there are parts of yourself you haven't even discovered yet. It's never too late to learn something new, to feel excited about something, to help someone, to inspire someone, or to simply sit in the sunlight, take a deep breath, and feel grateful that you're still here, still in this body, still on this earth, with today in your hands. And when you start seeing your days that way, as gifts, as chances, as moments worth showing up for, you begin to change. You make different choices, you treat yourself better, you move a little more, rest a little deeper, connect a little stronger. You don't do it out of fear, you do it out of love, because you've realized that your life still matters, that your presence still means something. So if you've made any of these mistakes, if you've ignored your sleep, disconnected from others, stopped challenging your mind, or let movement slip away, don't worry, you're not alone, and you're not stuck. You've simply paused, and now it's time to press play again. No big leaps, no pressure, just one small choice at a time. Drink that extra glass of water. Go to bed half an hour earlier. Call someone just to say hi. Pick up a book, stretch your arms, open the window and take a deep breath. Because when you care for yourself in these little ways, your body notices, your mind notices, your spirit lifts. And that's where health really begins. Not with a pill or a diet or a perfect plan, but with love, attention, and the belief that you still deserve to feel strong, connected, and alive. If you've stayed with me this far, it tells me something really important. You care. You care about your health, your independence, and your ability to live life on your own terms. And that caring, that's powerful. It's not always easy, especially at a stage in life when the world doesn't always make you feel seen. But just by watching, just by listening, you've already taken a step that many don't. You're showing up for yourself. And the beautiful part is, that's all it takes to begin again. Not some perfect plan, not a grand change, just the decision to be present in your own life and ask, what can I do today to feel just a little better? We've talked about some of the most harmful habits that sneak into life after 70, the kind that slowly chip away at our health and shorten our lifespan without making much noise. Poor sleep, disconnection from people, letting our brains go idle, sitting still for too long. Each one of them can quietly drain your energy, confidence, and vitality. But the encouraging truth is this: each one can also be reversed, not by turning back the clock, but by making small, meaningful changes that help you feel more alive right now. The body is remarkably forgiving. So is the mind. No matter how long you've been stuck in a rut, the moment you make a better choice, whether that's reaching out to an old friend, going for a short walk, learning a new skill, or just going to bed a little earlier, you begin to shift things in the right direction. And you don't have to get it all right. In fact, you won't. Some days will be better than others. There will be moments when you feel tired, discouraged, or frustrated. That's okay. That's part of the journey. The key is not to give up. Don't let one rough day convince you that nothing's working, because something is always working even when you don't see it right away. You're planting seeds. Every good choice you make is a seed. Drinking more water? That's a seed. Moving your body? Another seed. Laughing with a friend, practicing gratitude, getting out in the sunlight, these are seeds too. And when you plant them often enough, they begin to take root. You start feeling stronger, clearer, lighter, more joyful. And then you realize something powerful. You're not just living longer, you're living better. That's the difference. Longevity isn't the goal if the days are empty or heavy. We want life to feel full, to feel meaningful, to feel like you're still contributing, still learning, still laughing. And that starts with believing that your best years aren't just behind you. They can still be in front of you. You have more wisdom now, more perspective. You've seen things, survived things, loved deeply, and learned hard lessons. You know what matters and what doesn't. That gives you an incredible edge. You're not chasing trends or trying to prove yourself anymore. Now you get to live in a way that feels true to you. So give yourself permission to do that. If something in your life doesn't feel right, change it. If someone drains your energy, set boundaries. If you're craving connection, go find it. And if you've let go of habits that used to make you feel strong, happy, or fulfilled, it's never too late to pick them back up again. There is still music to dance to. There are still jokes to laugh at, people to inspire, and sunrises to witness. There are still books you haven't read and stories you haven't told. And your story, my friend, isn't finished. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are not invisible. You are alive. And that is enough to start over, to build something beautiful, and to keep choosing life, vibrant, meaningful, and fully lived. So let me ask you, what's one small thing you can do today, just for yourself? Something kind, something healing, something that says, I still matter. Maybe it's calling someone you love, or taking a walk around the block, or turning off the TV early tonight and letting your body rest. Whatever it is, do it, and know that it counts. Every little act of care adds up, and day by day, it brings you closer to the healthy, happy, and independent life you deserve. If any part of this video resonated with you, if you felt seen or motivated or simply reminded of something you already knew deep down, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. What small change are you going to make today? And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got more practical tips, inspiring stories, and gentle encouragement coming your way, because your well-being is worth showing up for every single day. Here's to your health, your happiness, and the years ahead. May they be long, joyful, and truly yours. Thanks for being here. Keep going, keep shining, and never stop believing in the power of today.